got to be from Bali.
Jiponina chinja pendena kumana nai.
Hi everyone, and welcome to December 2020. This year has been a year and a half. So last week was Thanksgiving. Now, with such a year, it's kind of like hard to even think about like what to be grateful for. Some people have lost their loved one to COVID-19. May God comfort them, give them healing through their tragic loss and pain. Economically, on a local scale and global scale, it's just been crazy. We pray that God will just like come through for us and just like hopeful for a better tomorrow. And so, Thanksgiving. In this video, I'm going to share about how this year, for the first time in 6 years, I decided to embrace a season which precedes and is actually part of Thanksgiving. So the pumpkin season. So I decided to actually explore the pumpkin season and to combine the American pumpkin season and the Zambian pumpkin quote-unquote tradition. And so how do you know that this is a pumpkin season? Well, what happens is that when that time comes, you see pumpkins everywhere. You see them in the stores, outside the stores. When you're driving along a road, you see different houses with like stands where they have like pumpkins of all shapes and sizes and colors being sold. Big farms are selling pumpkins. Small farms are selling pumpkins. Okay, and why all these pumpkins? Well, that's because you can do a lot of things, literally almost anything with pumpkins. So first of all, people who love to bake, it's like an exciting time because you can actually bake a lot of things with pumpkins. I am not a baker. I cook, but I don't bake. And so that's my goal. One of my goals for next year to kind of like explore baking, God willing. And so people will bake pumpkin pie, which is like significant for like the Thanksgiving meal, Thanksgiving gathering. Pumpkin pie has to be one of those things that's served. You can do pumpkin brownies, people do pumpkin puree, people do pumpkin cookies. When you go to a store, you can actually get pumpkin candy. You can get pumpkin candles. So we actually received a pumpkin candle gift, which was really sweet. And these, like, it smells really good. Yeah, really good. And this one is a farmhouse pumpkin. Yeah, okay. And so I was like, okay, let's explore this pumpkin season fully this year, and then compare it to like the Zambian culture. And so first things first, with like the pumpkin season here is that because there are so many pumpkins around, you can do so many things with pumpkins. The first thing you do is like you actually go pumpkin shopping. And so that's like the first thing on my list. Okay, let's go pumpkin shopping and let's get silver pumpkins. And so we decided, so fine, we're gonna get a pumpkin. We're gonna actually like we'll get 3 pumpkins. First, we get a pumpkin for carving. And so for the majority of the time that precedes Thanksgiving, many pumpkins are being sold, so you can actually get them and then like make different shapes out of them. So you carve them. And so that's something I've never done. I was like, okay, let me try and do this this year. And so we got a pumpkin for carving, and then some pumpkins that like can actually like be like decorated for you, like painted. So we actually got one which was kind of like it was looking very pretty. It had like this like patterns and paints and like a little flower at the top. So we got that. And then I was like, okay, fine. Then we also need to get a pumpkin for cooking Zambian style. Okay, and so here's a video of our pumpkin shopping.
Tipo ninachinja pendena kumana naye. Uyu Yesu, uyu Yesu, uyu Yesu, Mulungu chalo changa chinapindimuka.
So that was the shopping, and that was fun. And so now the next thing we had to do was to get the first pumpkin and prepare it for carving. So how do we do that? So the first thing is that when you get your pumpkin, you have to like open it up, either from the top or from the bottom, by like cutting out like a little piece. And as we know, the pumpkin Ifipushi, it's really tough. And so thankfully I got help with cutting it, so I'm grateful for that. I didn't have to do that part. And so the pumpkin was cut, and then it was then my job. The next thing is like you have to now take out like the inside the insides out of it. And so it's essentially like taking out like as much flesh as you can from the outside, and then also you then like keep the seeds. So difference number one of how the pumpkins are handled here and back home is that, first of all, yes, we don't carve pumpkins back home. Tatuangasha. We eat them. Here, the majority of pumpkins are carved, and a few of them are actually used for baking. So I'll talk about that in a few minutes. And so carving, ukuangasha versus eating. And so when carving, you only want to have like a little bit of like the flesh from the inside, but you want to like get rid of like most of the flesh. And so that's something that I did. So here's a video for that.
It's got to be money.
Tipo ninachinja pendena kumana naye. Uyu Yesu, uyu Yesu, uyu Yesu nimuemeka. Pendena kumana naye. Uyu Mulungu chalo changa chinapindimuka. Pendena kumana naye. Uyu Mulungu chalo changa chinapindimuka. Chapindimukila ona nina ya Moama. Chapindimukila irine osangala. Chapindimukila naliona chalo mabuto kuli consequent naenda. But nowadays, to him who is, I am, I surrender. Solo yoneke, monga ya vuta ni zibari. Wene analenga, tuwase naziko. Enena kumana naye. Uyu Mulungu, chalo changa chinapindimuka.
So that was our pumpkin prepared and ready for carving, and I got lessons for that. And at the same time, I also went to a pumpkin carving party that is organized by a group of international and American women. And so this group is like, the goal of this group is kind of to bring together different women, international women, American women, and just like to celebrate different cultures together. And so since it was a pumpkin season, we were having a pumpkin carving party. And so based on the skills that I had learned from my pumpkin shopping and preparing the pumpkin, I put these lessons to the test. So here's a video for that.
Let's see. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
So then, you know what, if you want to just cut that out top, cut all the, well, somebody's saving the seeds, but I don't know what.
How do we save the seeds?
Yeah, where would you like the seeds?
What should we put them?
In a bag?
I don't think I have a bag though.
We'll find one, yeah. And then I'll get a spoon so that we can, this little spoon's not going to do the trick. We need a big spoon to get it all that out.
All right, thank you.
Yes, I have to use it. My daughter was out of diapers, you know, she was trying to get things like health a little bit. I have to ask her what year we built. I'm guessing 18. What would you guys guess? And then I'll ask her when I go back. What do you guys guess? The age of that house? Yeah, I don't know what that, yeah, because you had it the opposite of mine. You had your boy older. 1880s, all right, I'll find out. And she's got this great porch that we've had some wonderful times on her porch.
How do I make sure it is perfect?
How do you make sure it's perfect? Does anyone have any recommendations for how Jenny can make her pumpkin perfect?
So here we go.
Forget about perfect and just enjoy the process.
Okay, thank
Oh, it's
you.
adorable. Oh my word. She's so fast. You're like the fastest pumpkin carver I've ever seen.
Oh, thank you. My first time.
My first time, and she's like, watch out for your keys though. I don't want you to get your keys all
Alright.
goopy.
You're all
But,
good teachers. Thank you for being great teachers.
Oh, I don't think I did a thing. I think you
did.
just hit the road running. You're a natural. And,
Well, thank you.
It's got to be Money.
Jiponina chinja pendena kumana nai. Uyu Yesu, uyu Yesu.
Yeah, so that was fun. It was fun. I just like fully embraced the carving activities, and yeah, surprisingly I was pretty fast and I did an okay job, so that was good. So now we're like, okay, fine. So now we have embraced the American pumpkin festivities, activities. Let's now do it the Zambian way. And so to do this, first of all, I had to like make sure that the pumpkins that we bought were actually like fit to eat, because when I looked up like YouTube videos on like people who actually bake, because here people only eat pumpkin in form of like baking, just like different pastries and stuff. And a few people they make sure that when they're buying a pumpkin for baking, they actually go for a particular type. There's a particular type of pumpkin where like it's kind of like a little sweet, it has like more flesh, and so when you go to a store, you have to be specific and say, I want that type of pumpkin. Yeah, but the majority of them are like the ones that are just like people that like get them for carving. And other people did say like the ones that are just like sold everywhere, you can still use those. You can still use those for baking. So I was like, fine, we're on a safe side, so we're gonna actually like use these ones. And so, so back home, we for us to actually eat the pumpkin, we actually have to boil it. Kind of like get the pumpkin, cut into small pieces, and then just like put it in a pot with water. And so I had to make sure that I was actually doing this right. So actually, I told my sisters, I was like, hey sisters, I want to like make the pumpkin the Zambian way, so I want to make sure I do it right. And one thing my sister actually told me was like, oh, don't forget to put like to cover like the pot with like a plastic. I was like, oh yeah, that's true. Like when you're cooking pumpkin, like after you put the pot, the water, trawika plastic papampamulu. And I was like, wait, why do you even do that? My sister was like, I don't know. We just do it. I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And so I did that. And but I also decided to say, fine, let me compare, because like people who actually bake here, for them to kind of like get their pumpkin soft, they get the whole pumpkin like maybe 4 pieces of it, and then like they put it in the oven for like 3 hours, so it can actually like get soft. And then after like 3 hours of like being baked, then they get a pumpkin and get the flesh, and then they like blend it and then they bake it. So I was like, oh, maybe I should try. So I'm going to like cut pumpkin into pieces, and I'm going to like have like half of it should be boiled the Zambian way, half of it should be baked, and then I'm going to compare the two, like maybe one of them is going to be better than the other. And so I did that. And then again, to cut the tough pumpkin, I got help for that, which I'm grateful. And so here's a video for that.
It's got to be Money.
Deep on ina chinja penena kumana na. Ooh you yes, ooh you yes, ooh you yes, emenda penena kumana na. Chalo changa chinapindimuka. Penena kumana na. Chapindimukila, oh nanina ya moama. Chapindimukila, ine osangala. Chapindimukila, naliona chala maguto kuli consequent naenda. But nowadays to him who is, I am, I surrender. Solo yoneke monga ya vuta nizibari kwanga. Sono wanilangiza njira yoyenda na mokitila. Chalo changa chinapindimuka. Chapindimukila, oh nanina ya mama. Chapindimukila, ine osangala. Chapindimukila.
Yeah, so that was pretty good. It looked so good. I'm like, yeah, Zambian way. Like it looked just like back home. I'm like, okay, that's good. Now let's taste this pumpkin. Yeah, that pumpkin had no taste. Oh my gosh, it was just like, I was like, okay, let me add some honey. Yeah, it was okay, but it was just like, this is not the way it's supposed to taste. So anyway, at least we tried. But I know that next time we do this, we need to get the specific pumpkin that is that people use for baking. But that was my experience on embracing the pumpkin season and just like trying to explore the American festivities with the Zambian festivities. And so thank you for watching and see you in the next video.
Ooh you yes, ooh you yes, ooh you yes, emenda penena kumana nae. Chalo changa chinapindimuka.